guys, Kitty Sapphire here, and welcome to Kitty Reacts. So, since Halloween is upon us and Death Battle decided to come out with this wonderful Death Battle, which I've been looking forward to since they announced it. I've been actually looking for, okay, let me back up for a minute. First of all, this video specifically has been the most requested out of all the other videos that you guys have given me thus far. At least a good 6 people that I know of that are close to my heart that suggested this video to me several times. Even though I was planning to do a reaction video to it because of the fact that I've been a long fan of Death Battle and Rooster Teeth with several of their other skips, but mainly Death Battle is what introduced, which I've been a fan of Death Battle since it was on Screw Attack. As you guys know, one of my earlier videos before I started getting into reaction videos was Broly versus the Hulk. Another thing is, my very first Death Battle that I ever watched was Felicia versus Tao Kaka, which is like one of my favorite battles of all time. It's really funny. It's a bittersweet type of battle because I love both opponents, but of course one person has to win over the other. So it's really sad because both of them are my favorite. For the longest, I wanted a fight with several of my favorite characters. I have another Death Battle that I did witness, which had my girl Ryoko Matoi. That will be hopefully in another video with another reaction so you guys can see that. Ever since they did a EXEB, which is sort of like, it's Death Battle but abridged. No analysis, no nothing. It was just a fight between my husbando and other most infamous vampires in anime history, Dio Brando, which JoJo's Bizarre Adventures has a huge fandom. I love the show. I loved from Phantom Blood all the way to Stardust Crusaders. I haven't gotten into the other stories yet. I will eventually, so don't worry. Ever since I saw that battle, that short abridgment, I really, really would like a full analysis. So here we are. So basically, between your guys constantly asking me to do a reaction video, being a longtime fan of this series, and then also being one of the many people who wanted to see these two duke it out, since they are well known in the anime community as like the most crazy, outlandish takes on vampires to this day. It's going to be a very interesting fight. Without further ado, let's get the party started.
Dio Brando, everlasting adversary of the Joestar bloodline.
Alucard, undying enforcer of the Hellsing organization.
Vampires, the spawn of nightmares formed from the blackest pits of man's demented imagination.
Anime, basically the same thing. What do you get when you combine them? 2 of the meanest monsters out there. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
Imagine, if you can, someone so wicked that the sheer magnitude of their unholy dickishness literally destroyed the universe.
Yeah.
I think they'd have to be no less than the devil himself. But it was him, Dio.
Born a penniless street rat with a cunning mind in the slums of Victorian London, Dio
oh,
was
by the way, I'm a huge fan of all the analysis
by his
stuff.
alcoholic father.
Basically, I'm nerding out with all the basically analysis
to a
and stuff
lifelong
like that.
desire for ultimate power and immortality, to reach a place over heaven.
And he'd get his chance to act when he was adopted into the wealthy Joestar family. Dio planned to kill his new father, George Joestar, and take his fortune for himself. Only one thing stood in his way, his new brother, Jonathan Joestar, aka
Jojo!
Dio tried to go all alpha wolf on Jojo by engaging in such classic sibling pranks as beating him up, molesting his girlfriend, and setting his dog on fire.
Yeah, after that it was like, no, he deserves every...
What for, Jojo?
Yep.
After years of emotional manipulation, Dio's twisted assassination plot was foiled by his righteous stepbrother.
With help from the interfering Speedwagon. All seemed
Speedwagon
until
was a
Dio
riot.
pulled out his plan B, an ancient stone mask that turned him into a vampire. That's just bizarre.
Okay, so
Well,
he's not
you know,
technically a
Jojo's
vampire
a
like,
vampire.
say, Dracula. Instead of turning you into an unholy demon, the stone mask eliminates your body's natural limitations.
Making him way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human. He can hear a heartbeat through the ground, fly through the air, and hypnotize you with just a glance.
It gets weirder. Dio can create mind-controlling flesh buds from his hair follicles, vaporize the
Yeah.
moisture in his body to freeze anything he touches, and fire beams of pressurized fluids that can split the sky.
Pressurized fluids.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes it's too easy, Wiz. Even more insane is Dio's healing factor. He's been burnt alive, impaled through the head, bisected, decapitated, lost limbs, filled with bullets, and had a huge hole punched in his chest not once, not twice, but three times.
Another
I
similar
remember
vampire,
that.
Straight, survived being blown to pieces and just pulled himself back together.
All Dio needs is some blood to speed up the process, so he is basically a vampire. Though I guess the fangs are just for decoration because he sucks blood through his fingers.
I know, it's
Ugh.
Dio used his powers to raise a zombie army to conquer the world and
Yeah.
feed a baby to its own mother. Just for kicks.
Yeah,
A real
this guy
piece
was a
of shit
total
on this show, Wiz, but I'm
douchebag
starting
from
to think
jump.
Dio
It
takes
was
the cake.
terrible.
Luckily, his plans were foiled again by his old frenemy Jojo, who beat
Frenemy.
Dio's ass with a martial art that uses the power of the
Frenemy.
sun. Hamon.
Because, should Dio's vampire body be subjected to sunlight, he will instantly disintegrate.
So, what did Dio do? Well, he cut off his own head, killed Jonathan on his wedding night, and attached his head to Jojo's body.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's pretty.
Take taken for sure.
After a
Yeah,
brief century
that
in a
was
coffin
like
at the
a
bottom of the
really
ocean, Dio
douchebag
resurfaced in
move.
Egypt and tried once again to take over the world. His ultimate goal was to create a world where everyone knew their own fate and could make peace with the inevitable tragedies life had in store. In Dio's mind, heaven.
And he'd make it happen no matter how many breads he'd have to eat.
After being struck by a mystical arrow, sure, why not, Dio gained a stand, the embodiment of a user's life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, look, Wiz, I got a stand. I call it 99 bottles.
Oh
Oh,
god.
shit. Don't worry, Wiz. I'll change you back with your transmog.
What did you do,
Oh, look, a giant
Boomstick?
beer. Ah.
As befits a god
Oh my
among men, Dio
gosh.
received one of the most powerful stands in history. The
The
World,
world.
with its ability
No,
to stop
I'm sorry.
time.
The world.
Thanks for the. Ow! Well, not only does his time stop get longer with each use, he can spam it as much as he likes. He's a massive troll.
The
Yes,
world is
yes,
absurdly
it really
strong
is.
and fast, able to match the stand's Star Platinum, which belongs to Jonathan's great-great-grandson, Jotaro Kujo. He technically inherited it from Dio through Jonathan's body and bloodline, making Star Platinum and the world the same stand.
And both are two of the strongest stands out there, just as strong as Stone Free, which can punch meteors that were pulled to Earth in seconds.
Well,
By measuring
that
the
is
distance
his
the meteors
daughter,
are from
so
Earth, we
that
can
makes
estimate
sense.
they were moving at over 11 million meters per
I'm
second.
sorry,
Factoring in their
for all
mass,
those
they
who,
each have a kinetic energy
didn't
of
see the
441
manga,
kilotons of TNT.
Not that
Spoilers, I guess.
crazy when you can
Little
throw
tiny
punches
spoiler.
that are faster than light. No, really, Star Platinum kept up with this stand, Silver Chariot, which could cut a beam of light.
Looking at the interval Silver Chariot's sword swung relative to the light beam, it must have moved over 1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio himself has matched Star Platinum on his own, and taken its punches head on.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to Dio's secret weapon, the greatest weapon in anime history.
Oh, that freaking steamroller!
The Steamroller! Turns out Dio's a hell of a chef. He can make pancakes and donuts.
Even so, despite having a massive god complex, Dio's still a careful tactician capable of exploiting an opponent's weaknesses.
Too bad he wasn't prepared for Jotaro to learn how to stop time too and murder the shit out of him. That's
Yep.
some hardcore karma right there. But it only makes
Karma,
sense that a dog
karma,
murderer would
karma.
die like a bitch.
But much like the machinations of great and terrible men, Dio's will was immortal. In time, his greatest follower succeeded in extinguishing the Joestar bloodline and literally remaking the universe in Dio's image, creating that heaven he always dreamed of.
I guess when you're named after a rock star, a movie star, and, oh, that's right, God, you're pretty much bound for greatness.
You thought your first kiss would be Jojo, but it was I, Dio!
Never mind.
How blessed are some people whose lives have no fears, no dreads. For though the world seems full of good men, there are monsters in it.
But don't worry, jolly old England has it covered with the Hellsing organization.
Founded by famous vampire hunter Abraham Van Helsing and led by his descendant Integra, this secret government institution has saved the world time and again with their secret weapon.
And what better weapon to hunt vampires than with one of their very own, the no-life king, the bird of Hermes, Alucard.
To most, his origin was shrouded in mystery. But under Helsing's employ, he was molded into an elite hunter, made even more vicious by his intense hatred of his fellow vampire kind.
A hatred that he expresses with two of the gnarliest handguns you'll ever pray to your infinite God to never see in person.
Alucard's primary sidearm is the Castle, a behemoth of a handgun able to kill most undead in one shot with holy bullets that can nullify a vampire's healing factor.
The Jackal is the handgun she told you not to worry about. 16 inches long and weighing 35 pounds. It's armor-piercing, hollow-point bullets, jacketed in blessed Macedonian silver, were built to annihilate the toughest monsters.
And after decades of clandestine experimentation, Hellsing enhanced Alucard's vampiric abilities far beyond the norm.
Alucard can walk through walls, cast illusions, levitate, and move objects with his mind. Objects like, say, an ocean of over 3 million people's blood? That'd be an energy worth half a ton of TNT.
His psychic prowess allows him to read minds, communicate telepathically, hypnotize with a glance, and see through hallucinations with his third eye.
He's not a Triclops. It's more of a sixth sense that lets him hit bullseyes from a kilometer away and even predict your movements. Kinda like the Sharon gun.
Of course, he wouldn't be a real vampire if he couldn't drink blood. The catch is, when he drinks enough blood to kill you, he literally absorbs your soul. And that right there is the source of his most fearsome ability.
You just can't kill the sumbitch. Shoot him into Swiss cheese, blow his ass to smithereens, turn him into a literal blood puddle, he'll just regenerate his body lickety-split. Like, we've seen some overpowered healing factors on this show before, but Alucard's is just bullshit.
While he does possess blood and organs like a regular human, Alucard's body is, in reality, composed of an ethereal, shadow-like substance that he can morph any way he wants. This allows him to shapeshift and instantly heal any wound, and each soul Alucard has consumed acts as an extra life that he can spend whenever he's fatally injured. Kind of like a video game.
And after 500 years of unlife, Alucard has consumed literally millions of souls. Ora! Yay, more beer!
Just like me.
Ora! Hellsing needed a beast as fearsome as Alucard to take on Millennium, aka Nazi vampires. That's like evil squared.
Like when Millennium SS Lieutenant Rip Van Winkle commandeered a British aircraft carrier as part of an invasion of London.
Alucard didn't like that very much, so he jackknifed it with an SR-71 Blackbird at Mach 3.
A fully loaded Blackbird weighs 170,000 pounds, meaning it struck with a kinetic energy of 11 tons of TNT. That's as powerful as the US Massive Ordnance Air Blast.
AKA the mother of all bombs! And Al was in the middle of that and strolled out like it was nothing.
Just as impressive as intercepting Rip's magic bullets. Comparing the distance one bullet moved to the jet in the same time frame as the jet's own movement, each bullet would have to be moving at 1,500 times the speed of sound.
And Alucard caught one with his friggin' teeth. And after giving Rip's name a new meaning, he drove that aircraft carrier back to shore with his mind to fight two separate armies at the same time. What a goddamn monster!
It goes without saying that Alucard's immense power and bloodlust needed to be controlled, so 6 restriction levels were placed on him that he can release against dangerous opponents.
Levels 6 through 2 are for wrecking your ordinary ghouls. Level 1 is for your heavy-duty vampires, and for getting this gnarly demon doggo made from his shadow essence, Baskerville.
But there exists an even greater state of power Alucard can release when he wants to end the world. Level 0.
Once activated, level 0 releases every single soul Alucard has consumed as a sea of blood-soaked zombies. All 3 million of them.
Sure, with his souls gone, he can't heal as easily, and if his heart is destroyed, he'll die permanently. But the sheer numbers and power of this army from hell makes him virtually impossible to approach in the first place.
He's unstoppable! This guy's got to be like the king of all vampires!
Indeed, he is. Hellsing purposely kept Alucard's true identity a secret, all in the codename. Alucard backwards is
Dracula? Yeah, duh, Wiz, idiot.
over 500 years ago. The Wallachian voivode Vlad Dracula battled the Ottoman Turks for control over Eastern Europe and impaled thousands of people in the process. Hence his historical name, Vlad the Impaler.
But things didn't end up too good for him. Right before his execution, he took a big old sip of some blood from the battlefield, sacrificing his humanity in order to become an immortal creature of the night.
And that is when the legend was born. But it wasn't anything Dracula was proud of. He grew to despise his monstrous nature and saw it as cowardice. The main reason he hated other vampires so much was that he really hated himself.
Oh, that's deep, Wiz. Maybe that's why he always lets his enemies rip into him like a piñata of self-loathing. His crazy OP healing factor will fix everything anyways.
Millennium would exploit this arrogance by tricking Alucard into absorbing the soul and abilities of Schrödinger, a German cat boy who controls his own quantum state. This grants him pseudo-omnipresence and immortality. He can exist everywhere and nowhere, and cannot die so long as he can recognize his own existence.
But because Al had 3 million souls kicking around inside him, Schrödinger couldn't recognize himself anymore, forcing him, and thus Alucard, to fade out of existence.
So Alucard spent 30 years killing the other 3 million souls inside of him until he could return to reality and his master. He undid his own unexistence.
No matter how spoopy the threat, Alucard will show no mercy. He's just waiting for the day he meets a noble human warrior strong enough to end his unlife for good.
But should he face a fellow monster, a fool who rejected their humanity like himself, he'll let loose the dogs of war, and all hell will sing.
I'm a dog. Then you're dog food.
All right, the combatants are set. Run the data through all possibilities.
But first, if you want the same kind of confidence that lets you try to take over the world with a zombie army, first
Well,
off,
you guys know who I'm rooting
secondly,
for. You guys
try
don't.
out
I don't
Blue
need
Chew.
to say anything.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew.
A little bit of extra confidence can take you really far in life.
Yeah.
And that's why Blue Chew delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in chewable tablet form, right to your door.
Yep, and didn't we mention you can get Blue Chew's tablets at a fraction of the cost of those other guys?
Getting ready to go is simple. Just sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days.
Plus, it's all done online, which means no more awkward conversations with your doctor or waiting in line at the pharmacy.
You can take Blue Chew anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever.
So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, Blue Chew can help.
And we got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code BATTLE at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping.
So far, my predictions have been kind of 50-50 at most, but when it came to characters that I really like, I just, we'll see.
That's BlueChew.com, promo code BATTLE to receive your first month free.
Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And thanks, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the show.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
Nani? Oh.
You interrupted my dinner.
Funny, I was just thinking about having mine.
Then by all means, take a bite.
Nani? Oh.
How oh so very weak, dog. You thought you'd triumph, but it was I. Dio?
He's not going to say it!
If I'm a dog, your dog poop. Huh?
Oh god! You freaking Steve Lila! Really? Really?
I'm gonna enjoy hearing you scream.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
What the hell are you?
A real fucking vampire.
Oh, that's creepy. It's all Hera. What are you doing? Oops.
You want blood, you disgusting monster? Choke on your own.
I want to rule the world!
Okay. Money?
Face me, Vampire King! Bow to your new god!
No, please.
The bird of Hermes is my name. Eating my wings to make me tame.
Useless, useless, useless. Muda! Muda, muda! Muda, 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 muda!
I excuse me one moment. Oh my fucking god, you gotta be freaking kidding me! I knew it. I just freaking knew it. It was all in the signs. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I hate Dio. He's like the biggest fucking troll ever. Oh my god, I can't take it anymore. It's just like always, always. It's me, Dio. I just like, oh my goodness, and my poor heart. Oh my god, I can't believe this. You gotta be fucking kidding! He's the freaking king of the no get king. He shouldn't necessarily be treated like this. Are you fucking kidding me? I don't get it. Don't get me wrong. There's no way to basically argue with the numbers, but he's just like a fucking cheating liar, and I can't say it. What a big motherfucking. I can't stay. Oh my god! Hey guys, it's Kitty Sapphire. Sorry about that, guys. I had to really step back and really think. There was a lot going into the fight. First of all, I don't necessarily react in that manner. There's a lot of emotions going through my mind right now regarding that fight. For a long time, when I would engage in the reactions for Death Battle, usually I give the characters that I'm rooting for and then the characters that they're going up against. If the other characters win, usually I give them their props. Usually I give, congratulations and, try to take the L gracefully. I can understand you're tied to these characters greatly. It's a duel of which I guess one fandom over the other or one otaku over the other, and everybody's rooting for their favorite character. I understand that. So I try to give it like, hey, congratulations to the other side. I've done Felicia versus Taokaka. Both of them I really liked. And unfortunately, my old school character, Felicia, that I really admired, she lost in that fight. And it was hard, but I also loved Taokaka, so I was happy that she got the spotlight and what have you. And just seeing them fight was really wonderful. Another one was Ryuko Matoi from Kill La Kill and Shadow versus Shadow the Hedgehog. Even though it was kind of perplexing that, you had Shadow the Hedgehog versus Vegeta beforehand, why doing him again? But I digress. Lost that fight. Actually, there's a video that I did of that, and you could see me a little bit less, not too thrilled with the fight. I felt really bad. But this particular fight, it just hit so close to home. I know that's kind of, as an otaku, it's all for fun. What sucks even more is for these past few weeks before and really looking forward to this, I had like really 2 weeks that were very, very rough. I was just hoping that even being away from the things that I really enjoy, anime, geeking out with you guys, reaction videos, what have you, I was hoping for a different outcome. I was really hoping for a different outcome. I couldn't take this gracefully as I've done in the past. I just can't. You have no idea how, actually, in this particular case, with all the other things that I've done, I have to say this is the most heartbreaking. This is the most heartbreaking. I wanted to say I apologize for showing like my coattails in that sense, but yeah, this is like. I needed to take some time. I really needed to walk away from this briefly, and just as far as the fight is concerned, I can't argue with the numbers. As a woman of science, as a woman of has a strong belief in research and basically getting as much evidence as possible, you can't argue with the numbers. And then on top of that, as much as I was like arguing what happened to Schrodinger, even though, yes, I don't necessarily like that character because of the fact that, hey, he is like the blight on the Bake Neko world. I'm not really big on my fellow Nekos turning evil, but hey, especially a Nazi, no less, it's no good. At the same time, by Schrodinger basically being consumed by Alucard, it left him with a huge boon, a very strange boon, but a huge boon no less, raising the good point of, yes, killing all those people that he consumed in order for him to become stable. I can understand why they removed that boon out. Also, the fact that against the amount of jewels, the tons and weight, basically in a nutshell, because I think it has to do with, if anything, the nature of those two mangas. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is, as the title implies, bizarre. So doing astronomical things that were basically these weird things happening to a single family line, the Joestar line, that's the whole entire thing with the story. The story is about very weird, fantastical stuff happening to this one family versus Hellsing, which is very contained. It's more based almost in reality. I know that's really sad for me to say that because of, oh, well, if it's based in reality, then why do we have these astronomical, really weird fights? You're just saying that because, unfortunately your boy lost. No, it's as a person who's writing a manga themselves, there's certain elements that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has that technically Hellsing can't touch. And I'm willing to accept that. But at the same time, I'm a little saddened. I guess what I'm saying is, if Alucard had more of a merit to do astronomical stuff. Similar, that's like another way to express it is actually the fallout, what happened, I think, a few years ago with Death Battle when it came to Superman versus Goku. Goku, you know, as much as I love Goku, his story is always about breaking limits. Always about breaking limits, and he's constantly working at it. Constantly working at it. Well, Superman is as strong as whatever writer needs him to be. He's a symbol. He's not a character, if anything. I mean, nowadays, the way he's written, Superman is written now, he's actually a full-fledged character. But before, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, etc., all the way to, like, I believe the early 2000s or mid 2000s, excuse me, Superman has always been substantially a symbol. In this particular case, it's similar to the relationship between Goku versus Superman here in sort of like the supernatural or dark fantasy world between Dio and Alucard. Dio is a constant force who is constantly plaguing the Joestar family, you know, and he'll do astronomical things almost on the same grounds as Superman to become or still be a bane in the side of the Joestar family. Alucard, however, is very self-contained in that regard. The only shocker was the Schrodinger's thing. That was the only thing weird and bewildering about the situation. But all the other stuff is quite grounded in their own particular universe. And again, if the writer wanted to expand the universe in such a way that it would do such a grandioso type of events that Alucard could pull off, then probably would have on the same footing. But still, remove the part that this really broke my heart. It really did. It really did. So first, again, like I said, I apologize. It's just I'm lost for words. On a logical standpoint, I understand and, you know, give where kudos is due, but at the same time, I can't really bow out gracefully. I'm actually quite pissed. Okay, I know that's kind of very strange because of the fact that, hey, you know, this is a fictitious fight. It shouldn't be that much of a big deal. But for a person who's a huge fan of a particular character, more so than others, I don't know. I'm gonna probably go and just cuddle against like my little small chibi Alucard pillow. Just watch fluffy anime all day. Like School Live. I know that's not really that fluffy, is it? But yeah, there's a list of anime, there's a list of artwork that I need to do that could take my mind off of this, because this was a fight that was, yeah, it wasn't as entertaining. I mean, it was entertaining in the sense of seeing them show out, but it wasn't as entertaining as I was hoping it would be. But thanks guys for basically weathering this reaction, and yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, I hope you guys have a nice Halloween. See you guys later.